Welcome to our history report. We're looking back into the past and showing you around the world of history. Today's focus is the organization of the Han Dynasty, as well as the legacy for today. Lean back and enjoy the show. The society was generally well structured in the Han Dynasty, and everyone had a defined place in society. Han China has made use of the three-tiered social system. Aristocrats and bureaucrats were at the top of this hierarchy, followed by skilled and hard-working laborers, for example, farmers and iron workers. The bottom tier consisted of unskilled laborers, such as servants and slaves. The emperor was at the top of the whole hierarchy, headed the government, and had absolute power over whole of China. Civil servants were well rewarded for their services, and it was not necessary to be a nobleman to be a civil servant, but had to pass strict service examination. The job of a civil servant includes enforcing law and order, collecting taxes, organizing jobs, etc. A civil servant was responsible for an area including villages, farmland, towns, or part of the city. Enough about the social structure and civil servants. What language did they speak? And what characters did they write with? The Chinese language was called Han language, and the characters used to write the language Hanzi. At that time, Chinese had different forms to speak Chinese, and different dialects evolved. In the Qin dynasty, a standard literary Chinese got created, with vocabulary and grammar which was simplified and elaborated for business contracts, ritual texts for Chinese folk religion, and other documents. The Hanju language spread across China because of the civil servants who got educated in this language, who then again spread across whole of China. This language then got adopted of the different Chinese in the different areas of China. We learn a lot about the language now, but what else is there in the Han Dynasty? I heard something about the standing army. A small professional standing army named Northern Army existed throughout the western and eastern Han around its capital. It was centered to serve the protection of the emperor and the capital as well as to repel invasions. Smaller colonels were stationed around the capital and were considered to be an extension of the Northern Army. This army was made up of paid career soldiers, approximately 3,750, and the Southern Army out of volunteer soldiers. The Southern Army was increased in times of war. The Standing Army is known because of the Han records around about 180 BC. And now, let's carry on to the currency of the Han Dynasty. With the Han Dynasty, the currency got nationalized from bushels of grain to a coin currency with the imperial's mint, which stayed valuable to the end of the Han Dynasty. Around 210 BC, the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, abolished all other forms of local currency and introduced an uniform copper coin based on the coins previously used by Qin. These copper coins were round-shaped with a square hole in the center to allow the coins to be strung together to create higher denominations of currency. Besides these coins, natural currencies such as silk or grain still played a major role for smaller payments. In the Qin dynasty, all weights and measures got standardized that later on led to more efficient commerce and would allow subsequent dynasties to develop a taxation system. The Han Dynasty took use of these measurements and continued to use them. They were documented systematically in the Book of Han. Traditional units of length include the chi, bu, and li, and the precise length of these units and ratios between these units have varied over time. Next up is the information about the network of roads and canals. The developed network of roads built throughout China enabled trade on a large scale. The road system, which was mostly unpaved, was approximately 22,000 miles. Overcoming geographic obstacles, the Han Dynasty was built on an agricultural foundation. The Han cleared forests and constructed canals, dikes, and terraces to expand the arable land. Agriculture supplied the wealth and taxes to support the Chinese people and the Han government. The population grew, supplying labor to further expand the empire. The labor and taxes of the growing population of free peasants expanded the size and power of the Han Dynasty. Last but not least, now comes the legacy for today. Arts and culture flourished under the Han Dynasty and is considered as one of the greatest periods of history of China. Han Chinese, an ethnic group from East Asia, take use of the name from this dynasty. Today, this ethnic group involves approximately 91% of the Chinese population, and therefore it is the largest ethnic group in the world. The official language of China, called Hanju, is the common language of all modern Han nationality people and has its roots in the Han ethnic group. This group builds onto Confucianism, which was the official state ideology of the Han Dynasty. By establishing Confucianism as the theoretical foundation of the newly developed imperial state during the Han Dynasty, the merit system for professional civil servants is still in use and has been adopted worldwide. No longer are civil servants only selected by parentage, but on their aptitude and skills. The emperors of the Han Dynasty have encouraged the development of technology and science, as well as the culture and religion. Different kinds of inventions and products have been carried along the Silk Route and therefore have influenced other countries. For example, gunpowder, tea, porcelain, paper, and printing. Next to these inventions, the military power and its influence expanded over Central, Southeast Asia, and Northeast Asia. And that was already the end of our report. We hope you learned something. Francis Schultz and Selena Botsang helped to create this. Thank you.